Go on, Gary. Or go on, Phil. Throw it long. Knock his stumps out.
Welcome to Reminding You Why You Love Football, the award-winning podcast from Mundial magazine. I am your host, Seb White.
Who are you? Come on!
Who am I indeed? I am co-founder of Mundial, entering a 10th decade and still no sign of a testimonial.
10th decade?
Sorry, not 10th decade. First,
Gandalf.
Bloody hell, we've been going for 100 years. It does.
Which is unbelievable, because in a minute this will be even funnier in a minute.
Sometimes it feels like 10 decades.
Yeah. It does feel like 10 decades.
Yeah. I've only been here a year and it feels like at least 2.
Entering a decade of Mundial with no impending sign of a testimonial anywhere. Joining me today, Mundial features editor James Bird.
Hello.
My very loyal and trusty co-producer Tommy Stewart.
Hello.
Very important announcement. I know you're all thinking, when the hell is Owen due back? Very, very, very soon. He is back. He's just arrived back in the country. For those who are new to the pod, hopefully there's a few new listeners, I'm just going to delve into the reviews for the sort of idea of what should follow over the next 45 minutes on Reminding You Why I Love Football. This review says, genuinely funny and often rather uplifting. Seriously, go have a listen. It's well worth sitting down with a cup of tea and a chocolate digestive.
Ooh.
Oh.
Now, I would have said hobnob, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'd have said ginger nut.
This is a review from someone called Proud Moments. And the review is also titled Proud Moments, which highlights a particular ineptitude to use the review function on Apple. And the reason this is funny, because said review opens up with, surprisingly at my age, I do listen to Reminding You Why I Love Football most weeks. Maybe it's the nepotism of knowing Seb. He's my eldest son.
Oh my goodness.
So,
When I was looking through them, I did see this one. I did.
So that's my mother. Thank you, mother, for that lovely review. Secondly, I think it's obvious now where we get the various misspellings in the running order and why we have an actual section called Seb's Faults in the podcast. It all makes a lot more sense.
Brilliant.
So, but no, thanks very much, mother, for that review. It was very nice. And she hates me calling her mother, so I'm going to get my own back on her for leaving that review.
Gonna get your ass kicked.
I am, yeah, true. A polite reminder to all those not related to me, it is very, very, very helpful for us to leave a review. It really helps. And even if you can't leave a review for whatever reason, or if you already have left a review, why not share Reminding You I Love Football, either this episode or your favourite episode, in your WhatsApp groups? Come on, think of all the nonsense that you share with each other. Yeah. Some great stuff, some funny stuff, some stuff that you definitely shouldn't be sending or receiving. Why don't you send someone the gift of Reminding You I Love Football in the WhatsApp groups? You'd agree with that, James, wouldn't you? James is desperate to say what's in his WhatsApp group. I can see it.
No. What I want to say is you saying that for people who aren't related to me to also do a review, because in Somerset it's marginal, right?
Hey! I mean, I walked into that. I can't argue with
and
that.
of the thousands.
And
of the thousands of people who do listen to this, it's somehow feasible that quite a few are related to you.
This is very true.
What percentage of our listeners do you think are related to you? In a way, though, anyone who consumes any Mundial product is related to Seb White, I'd say.
What, in some way?
Yeah.
What, you mean like...
Spiritually, emotionally.
The love of the game.
Yes.
So we have got over 60 episodes now of timeless content.
Extras.
We've even got extras now, haven't we?
We've got YouTube.
And we will be having some new extras coming up in the next few weeks. Anyway, come on, let's get the show on the road. We are an award-winning podcast, which is 4.9 on Apple, 5-star on Spotify. This is Reminding You I Love Football, and we are part of the Acast Creator Network.
Doom, do do doom, do 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 doom, doom. It just gets better and better and better.
Should we do a Formula One podcast? No, not.
God, no.
Right then, so what was once known as the second intro, but is now known as Seb's Faults, or Volts, either of those two. We look at events in history and in football that are happening on this day, or have happened on this day, should I say, or have happened this week. And I'm going to start. Happy birthday to someone we've talked about a lot on this podcast. Too much, probably. But happy bloody birthday to Alan Pardew.
Oh, for God's sake.
Ex-Yeovil legend. We'll move on very quickly.
I am doing, for the benefit of the listener, watch it on YouTube. I'm doing the dance that he did against United until Jesse Lingard,
he did, didn't
won
he?
it for us. Yeah. Jay Lings, yeah. I love Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, he certainly was.
Good boy.
He had a good bit at United for a while, didn't he?
2018 World Cup.
And he got the winning goal in the FA Cup final. Not many. It's a boy's dream, isn't it?
From a homegrown boy.
Yeah.
Played brilliantly for England.
Yeah, he did.
Do you remember that his West Ham loan period where I think between January and the end of the season he was the top scorer in the Premier League?
Yeah.
He got like 15 goals.
He just couldn't stop scoring.
Yeah.
God, he was trying to stop scoring, but he just couldn't stop.
Well, on a serious note, the whole good vibes of Southgate's England, I'd say in the early days, a lot of that is down to Lingard.
Well, no, it's definitely.
Well, he was part of
definitely a key part of that. Him, Sterling, Rashford.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. 2018 World Cup. In Red Square, I did an interview with Ellie from Copper 90 about Jay Lings. I think I might have actually used Jay Lings in a video.
Did you?
To say that...
With a Z?
With an old man like me in Red Square, because of people like Jay Lings, Rashford, they've made me believe and want to follow this football team.
You said that?
Yeah.
That's brilliant coming from someone today who is dressed like the Kaiserslautern manager in 1983.
Yes.
He's got Seb's got a new sort of very 80s Maber zip-up cotton tracksuit top with trimming and sort of V on here. Also with the glasses and the comb over.
Yeah.
Something about the headphones as well. It's Stasi adjacent.
I was going to say, is it very Deutschland 83?
It's that sort of thing. It's very the lives of others.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah, Deutschland 83.
You're listening in.
You look. I think you look magnificent.
No, you do.
I think this colour, these colours on you. It's a sky blue.
Yeah.
And then a sort of royal blue.
What do they call the Barcelona thing? Is it blue? What's the Spanish word? Blue,
blue, mate.
Yeah.
But if I walked past you in the street, I wouldn't not think that you were going to a Berlin Wall. Meet.
Knock that.
Where's
my sledgehammer? Come on, I'm going to go and see Hoff. Going to see Hoff singing on the Berlin Wall.
Really grainy footage of you with a load of students smoking, sat on the wall.
Sounds good. It sounds quite funny, that. Yes. It does.
You look great, though.
I mean, we've got some experts on Photoshop. If they want to do that on Discord, then on our Discord. Only available to Mundial subscribers, our Discord. So there's a lot of fun, a lot of good fun on there. So subscribe to the magazine and you can be part of all that. But
I agree.
What else is happening this week, or this week the podcast is released? Actually, Tommy, I'm going to go to you because I know you've mentioned Betis and Joaquin before. And your brother is a big fan, isn't he? Like uber fan.
Big Real Betis fan. Yeah, he watches every single Real Betis game as well as Man United.
Where does he find the time?
I don't know. I think less so now that he lives with his girlfriend. That will become less of a thing. But over the past sort of 4 years, we've been obsessed with Betis just because of those early 2000s Kappa kits.
Yeah.
And we'd always sort of try and get if they became available in JJB or Sports Direct, or if we went on holiday to Spain, Betis was always our the one we desired the most. It was those tight Kappa ones, and also Joaquin on Football Manager was just fantastic at the time we were most obsessed with.
Bloody legend.
Yeah. But later on,
for those who don't know, he obviously went back there, didn't he?
Yeah. So he played for Real Betis. And then Chelsea wanted him, very nearly went to Chelsea under Jose Mourinho. He did. Ended up at Valencia instead. Real Madrid also wanted him.
God, he's very much of that ilk, of that Mourinho team.
Yes, very much so,
He would have been cool in it. But,
he would.
And then Real Madrid wanted him. He chose Valencia instead, which, it didn't go so well there. Ended up at Fiorentina for a bit in a very mad Fiorentina team. Yeah. And then goes home to Betis, and even though he's had about 4 or 5 years out of it, I think he still has the most appearances in La Liga history. Yeah. He played until he was 41.
Brilliant.
And I've seen him play for Betis in the flesh 2 or 3 times, and he still looked like the best player on the pitch. He still had pace at that age. That was the weird thing. It reminds me of like Jimmy Anderson still being that athletic and that sort of that. Yeah, just that quick and that looking fresh.
Do you know Jimmy?
Yeah,
my best friend Jimmy Anderson.
Yeah. But Joaquin, his birthday was he was born in 1981.
And he only retired last year,
which is ridiculous. Because I was born in 1980, so
he retired last season.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
And also, he is probably he's a worth following on Instagram. He's one of the funniest people in football.
Is he? What's he saying?
Yes, doesn't he do like Strictly Come Dancing and all that sort of stuff?
He does pranks. He does like he's the best. Yeah, he's the best person in the dressing room.
I've read that before as well. But it's his birthday. Yeah, so it's his bloody birthday. I tell you who else was.
What a player as well.
Also, talking about someone who goes back to their home team, or to go back and end their career. Nick Barmby. On this day in 2000, became the first player to move across Merseyside from Everton to Liverpool for 41 years.
Wow.
First player in 41 years back in 2000. But the thing I love about Nick Barmby is he went back to Hull, didn't he? Yes. And he helped get them promoted. He scored the goal of the season in their season in the Premier League. Yeah. And you think... he was a damn good player, wasn't he? He was part of that Liverpool team that won they won a treble.
No, it was a massive achievement.
Did he go to Euro 2000?
Yes.
Yeah, he would have done.
I'm pretty sure he started left wing Euro 2000.
Because
that was Dennis Wise.
Yes, sorry.
Because I can remember him. I can remember having the little coin from the Sainsbury's.
Same here.
He's got quite a funny face, hasn't he? Coin, I imagine.
I just kept getting Nick Barmby.
Yes.
There wasn't a Beckham in sight. 7 just filled the whole book with Nick Barmby.
Yeah. I remember. I'm Phil Neville's.
And I actually recently on that episode, I said about how the Euro 2021 kit was my favourite, but then I saw the Euro 2000 kit in a video for the first time in ages, and I was just like,
beautiful.
God,
the one that Mike Tyson randomly wears in the picture. Yeah, that one. Yeah. But
also, did anyone see Spike Lee wearing?
He's a big Arsenal fan, isn't he? Huge Arsenal fan.
Is he?
That's why he's
wearing an England shirt with Saka on the back. Yeah. So cool.
Spike Lee, he's been to games and all sorts. Spike Lee, definitely.
Loves his sports, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Loves basketball.
Yeah.
Used to watch it with Prince.
There you go.
Yeah. The one thing I'm going to talk about in pop culture that happened in the week the podcast was released.
Inverted commas there.
Was the film Aliens was released in 1986. Now, the reason I'm going to talk about this very quickly is I don't know if anyone remembers, but in Piccadilly Circus, just off Piccadilly Circus, there was something called the Trocadero. Yeah. I don't know if it's still there.
Yeah, it's
still there.
It's still there.
The Trocadero. Anyway, they had something there called the Aliens Experience. Now, I was about 14, 15.
And they drafted me in
15
to play one of the aliens.
No.
You're the scariest teenager I've ever seen in my life.
I was nearly...
Why are you that tall? Boy, have we got the show for you.
Very good. Very good. Like that thing around the corner that's like Madame Tussauds. What's it called?
Unexpected.
Which is...
Unexpected scam.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm going to take you back to Trocadero, 1994. I'm nearly 15. And my dad, stepmom, and my brother go to this thing called the Aliens Experience. So you walk into this sort of like spaceship type thing. You're sat there and all of a sudden... It starts shaking and all this, and then you have to run, and this bloke behind you going, run, and on no word of a lie, right, there are like genuinely really good aliens running after you.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when I say genuinely, I don't mean actual aliens. I mean alien costumes, robots, whatever they were. All I'll say is, right, I was 15 years old, and I have never held my dad's hand so much in my life. I was scared. Even though I knew, I kept saying to myself, this is not real. So you sort of ran through the set of Alien, this make-believe set of aliens, and it was fucking terrifying.
I'd love to call someone from Opta and get the backdated expected poos stats that day.
And then, but do you know how it ended?
Do you know how it ended? Fucking scale.
The mad thing is, so you're about 25 minutes. You're going around all these different bits that are like the scenes from the films, and there is obviously some plants in the group because they get taken away.
Obviously. Yeah, they do.
And I'm like, oh my god, this is but you. Literally, at the end, they go, run through that door, to sort of, you think you're going into the next bit. And you literally just run onto Oxford Street.
What? And then that's it.
That's it. And I'm like,
no one like.
Yeah.
Something say, oh, that's good. Like, do you want to get a picture?
And honestly, my arse dropped for about 25 minutes, and then as soon as I got out there, I was like, "Oh, thank God for that! I'm alive."
It doesn't sound like an official experience.
No, it was the official
like
aliens
a Del Boy?
experience. No. Oh no, this wasn't like these Del Boys. This was proper.
They took my stepmom and my aunt. What? They took two people? No, she's the same person.
Yeah. So that is why. And Aliens. The reason we went there as well, because Aliens was the first 18 film that I saw.
Also, what a fucking film!
What a film! I might have to watch it.
Both of them. Both. Yeah. Do you know that?
The first time one goes past the camera.
Oh,
that's one of the most scared I've ever been.
And I would say Ripley is like the coolest protagonist maybe in movie history. Do you know the pitch?
I'm not thinking of Aliens. Sorry, I'm thinking of Signs.
Ripley. Yes.
Do you know the pitch James Cameron did for Aliens?
No, go on.
So obviously Ridley Scott made Alien.
Yeah.
And I think he was probably moving on to Blade Runner at that point, and he wasn't going to make a sequel. James Cameron pitched to the studio and just wrote Alien on like a whiteboard, and then an S, and then $sign. Like just put 2 lines through it.
Oh,
that was his pitch. And you know what? It's
a pretty badass movie.
It is. In terms of sequels,
oh my God, there's Alien versus Predator. There's Alien.
No, but just those two.
Oh yeah,
those two are just like the sequel is almost as good, maybe.
I would argue that it's up there and better. Same with Terminator 2.
Yeah, definitely.
In my humble opinion.
What's the scariest film you've seen?
The scariest film I've seen.
I haven't watched horror film for you.
Do you know what?
I love
Matilda won't watch them.
Honestly, Aliens, because of all the stuff around it, and honestly, it was scared the hell
And the
out
Trocadero in 1995.
And Trocadero in 1994. Still, alas, not there anymore. But oh my God. Oh my God! I honestly held my dad's hand. It was ridiculous.
That's brilliant.
The most I've ever been. I wouldn't say it's the scariest film because I do. Well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it feels real and it's the way it's shot and everything.
Yeah.
But the most I've been scared during a film that I would say is not the scariest film is actually Signs. That bit when Joaquin Phoenix is watching the footage on the news of the kid's garden pie, and the big alien just walks past. Shivers.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The bit where you first see.
Yeah.
And then it gets worse when you actually see the aliens. Like all horror.
Less scary.
Like all sci-fi horror, it all becomes less scary when you actually see the monster.
It's the fear of the unknown.
I don't think I've seen Signs.
It's good. It's really good. It was on Channel 4 or 5 at like
all the time.
10 p.m. when
good.
you'd be flicking through your telly as a teenager in your room, desperately trying to get the other channels to work.
Yeah, after you've been on Channel 992 to 996.
Yeah.
Need a special pin number for that. Dad, you changed your pin number again?
Oh, he left it open for me.
Oh no.
Should I tell this story?
Yep.
Well, are you going to be? Will you tell us not to use it?
I think it's okay for it to be used.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, so I think I'm going back to me being, let's say, 14.
Yeah.
And a boy in puberty and coming to terms with everything that means.
Yeah.
And my mom used to work nights, so my dad used to take my mom to the hospital, which was a 15-minute drive and then a 15-minute drive back. Anyway, so my dad said, "Bye, see you later." Tuesday night or something like that. As soon as he leaves, I put the aforementioned,
channels on.
The channels on 992, 995. Have them on for 20 minutes or so. Just watching, just enjoying the show.
Yeah.
And
appreciating the artistic talents.
Appreciating it. And then my dad comes back through the door, and I've changed the channel back. And he goes, I remember we both stood in the kitchen. I think he was like, he put some toast in or something like that. And he just goes, "Oh, Jamie, cheers not for changing the channel. I was recording Countdown." And I just went, "Ooh!"
Oh no! It makes me cringe every time he tells me this story.
But the best bit about it was that he's recording Countdown.
It's like a rerun of Countdown or something like that.
What did you do?
My stomach dropped when you're on a swing.
Yeah.
And then I left it a couple of minutes and sort of gave myself a pep talk, and then went in and said, "Dad, I need to tell you."
Oh, that is good.
I need to tell you, I changed the channels.
Yeah.
I was watching one of those channels.
Yeah.
I remember saying that, one of those channels.
What did he say?
He sort of said most men.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good on him.
I won't tell you, Mom.
Oh, I won't tell you. Did he?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
We've never spoken about it since. Never.
No.
Never.
Well, she knows now.
Never mentioned again.
She's had a tough 2 weeks. That is, oh God, it still gives me the shivers. Talking of giving something, you were talking earlier on about that film giving you shivers.
Get the willies.
Oh, it does give me the willies.
Can you imagine? Fucking hell. Can you imagine?
Well, we better get on to talk about some foosball.
Oh yeah, we've just been in films and porn.
Yeah.
Better in a way.
Adventures in Clubland. Adventures in Clubland.
Clubland.
The week this podcast is released in 2003, Ronaldinho arrives in Barcelona to sign for Barcelona.
Oh.
So, there was...
I'm still gutted about it.
Well, we'll come on to that, Tommy.
We will.
We will come on to that. So, there was only one place I could go for an adventure, and an adventure it is. We're going to talk about Ronaldinho at PSG, 2001 to 2003.
Mais oui.
Oh, honestly.
Bof, yeah, no.
La belle Paris.
Sometimes I pinch myself that I get paid to watch, research, think about, talk about stuff like this, because
it's real.
What it is.
What an
honour. Anyway, Ronaldinho is in 2001. He has starred at the Copa America in 99. He has done brilliantly in the Olympics in 2000. He's been at Gremio since he was a kid. There's some amazing footage on YouTube of him at Gremio. He's got very short hair as well.
Yeah.
Think of Ronaldinho, what you know of Ronaldinho. This is when he's at Gremio, certainly, well, when he was a kid, and even the way till he was nearly finished there, he had very short hair, very different. This is a bucktooth kid who was performing wonders on the pitch.
He famously nutmegs Dunga in the final of the
Libertadores.
Yeah,
it was a Libertadores, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it. He does.
Looking beautiful in those blue and black.
The great kit, the Gremio one. I think we quite often. It's an easy post on Instagram, the Gremio one. But a move to Europe was inevitable. And he had a host of clubs after him. Rumours, looking back, the Arsenals, the Dortmunds, the Barcelonas even then were interested in him.
Really?
Yeah. But...
all the big names.
Très intéressant.
It was PSG who won his signature after quite a protracted tussle with Gremio, because... and you can't imagine this happening nowadays. You can't imagine back in 2000... the internet's in its infancy-ish, isn't it? There's no social media for sure.
Yeah.
The internet is still very early on. And PSG just have a press conference in January 2001 just to say that they've signed this Brazilian. And this is the very first that Gremio, who Ronaldinho is currently playing for, hears about it. The very first time. Yeah. So even though his contract was due to run out and he could technically sign... he was also in discussions with Gremio, and there was some rule to do with the Bosman that early days that if there was discussions, then he couldn't sign for someone else, even if his contract.
It's like someone hard launching on Instagram,
literally,
without even knowing you've been dumped.
And he said, this is the club president, Jose Guerrero. I've just read the news on PSG's website. We are in the middle of negotiations to renew Ronaldinho's contract, and PSG have never contacted us. Now. This rolls on and on. This gets a bit messy, and Gremio are demanding 20 million, and eventually FIFA get involved, and FIFA basically say, you've got to sort this out, otherwise we're going to set the fee. And in the end, after months and months of him, and he's not playing at this point, months and months, he goes for it's between £4 and £5 million. So an absolute snip. And it takes so long that he doesn't start the season with PSG. His debut's in the second game. That's his first chance that he can play. So anyway, he's joining a PSG team with some players in that are very familiar with us now. Your Pochettinos, your Artetas, your JJ Kochers, your Nicolas Anelkas, your Gabriel Heinze.
What a team, that
is. Well,
and also PSG, they used to be so cool.
They were so cool, and the reason they were cool,
the players.
The reason they were cool, in my opinion, and I might be a little bit before your time.
Because they never won fuck all.
Well, Rai was there, and I remember watching Rai and the PSG, the original PSG kit, George Weah.
Yeah,
they were cool PSG, like really cool.
Quite a young club, right?
Yeah,
they started in the.
Well, they were 1970s or something like that.
70s,
TV company background.
Because the OG team's Red Star.
Exactly,
yes, yeah.
Exactly. But they were cool, and Ronaldinho goes there because of Rai was there. They've had a lot of Brazilians midfielders as well in the previous decade, so it's a good place for Brazilians to go. The coach there is Luis Fernandes, the very solid, very skillful midfielder who'd won the Euros in 1984 for France and had a very luscious career himself. It's fair to say he's on the old school spectrum, quite strict. Discipline is numero uno for him. And a young, excitable footballer with obviously a passion for football, but a passion for life.
Yeah.
Does get himself in a few scrapes and mischiefs. So he might not turn up to training particularly on time always. He might not quite follow the instructions because that's just what, you know.
Like our very own Assad Raza.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, very true. So, he's enjoying the Parisian nightlife. And James, I'm going to come to you on this, right?
Yeah.
Because I've only been in and out of Paris and through Paris quickly.
Oh,
You've lived in Paris, right?
Wait.
Is the nightlife as good as people make out?
I think more. It's just places are open later, and it's more liberal in terms of what you can do. So you go to a bar, and there's 50 or 100 seats outside, rather than 4 pub benches chucked outside the front. So in terms of nightlife, I just think that it's a smaller city than London, so it's easy to get around. So it's more condensed. The bars are open later.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. Wine is cheaper. Beer is diet. It is fun. I mean, I was there a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Again, it looked fun then.
And I'd forgot. I hadn't been back to Paris for 8 years. Yeah. 7 or 8 years. And it is fun. And the bars are all lit well. They're all dark, but there's nice candles.
And whilst you were there was also that Brazilian festival.
Well, no, there was Fête de la Musique, which is the one day in the calendar year where you're allowed to play music all night long.
That's it, yeah.
It's like the one day where they're
what an amazing thing that is.
Oh, it's incredible.
Oh.
I've done it.
Can we go next year?
Yeah. We're definitely going to go next year.
Me and my girlfriend were just like jealously like scrolling through our Insta stories and seeing loads of people, including James.
Every single bar and every single shop in the city has a party outside from 1 p.m. until 5 a.m.
Yeah, I definitely want to go next
year. It's not just 20-year-olds out. It's the whole city. Old people, young kids.
Amazing.
Good vibes.
So a lot of fun for a youngster with a load of money who evidently likes to have fun. But where does he most like to have fun? Arguably the football pitch. You can't not speak about Ronaldinho and not say the words fun, joy, happiness. It takes him a while to get used to things. He only scores 2 goals in the first half of the season. But then in January, JJ Kocher gets called up for African Nations Cup. So Ronaldinho has to almost step up and rise to the occasion. And he does. He scores in 4 straight games. He scores a brilliant free kick against Rennes, which he credits as being like the turning point, the thing that changes it for him. There's another free kick against Lorient, which is unbelievable. The keeper is so desperate and so hot. He's put it right in the corner, essentially, this free kick. Just absolutely textbook in the corner. The keeper, he goes so far across and so fast across to get it. He misses it, but he catches himself on the post and almost spins around. He's moving at such pace just to try and get the ball, but he can't. And he's wearing, it's amazing, some of the clips in that first season, he's wearing leggings pretty much all the time.
Yes.
This is the time of like leggings and not like nowadays, they're like Under Armour trousers.
Not sports ones.
Well, no,
just actual
leggings.
Yeah,
like leggings. And so he's wearing these in Paris winter. The PSG silver away shirt from that season. Talking about cool as fuck. There you are. I mean, so he has a decent first season. Not amazing, a decent first season. He then goes and wins the World Cup. He wins the World Cup with Brazil that summer. And when he comes back, he gets given the number 10 shirt. He was 21 the season before. And it is fair to say he kicks on. He hasn't evidently cut his hair since he arrived in Paris, and it's getting longer and longer and longer to the Ronaldinho that most people know and be familiar with. But he scores 25 goals that season across all competitions.
Wow.
But madly, even with that and the players that they've got, PSG, I don't think they haven't got Anelka then because he's moved on, but they've still got good players. They finish 11th. And you think I'm making that up because it's 11, but they finish 11th. They finish 11th. They lose the French Cup final.
Follows you around.
Ronaldinho has a starring role in the semi-final. He does play incredibly against Marseille, both home and away, which is a big thing for a PSG player to do well against Marseille. And especially he did it at the Velodrome. And just the fluidity and everything that we know about Ronaldinho now is all there in that second season in Paris. They don't even make the Intertoto Cup to qualify for Europe. So they've had a terrible season, really, in terms of teams. But Ronaldinho, 25 goals. The goal against Guingamp.
Guingamp.
The goal against that wins the goal of the season, and it is Ronaldinho at its fucking absolute best. Weaving in and out, just the joy and the unpredictability of it, and just at the end, just a little scoop. Not a chip, a scoop. And obviously, clubs are seeing this across. He's won the World Cup as well, so obviously, clubs are going. He's got it, And Tommy, as we'll come on to now, it's fair to say, and it is true. You hear about these things about what if these players had gone here or gone there. Gaza could have gone to Man United, and it wasn't. It was close to happening. Those sort of transfers. This is one of those transfers that genuinely was on the verge of happening. Ronaldinho was gonna sign for Man United.
Yeah,
there was no question about it. It had all been sorted out. And then Barcelona come in. But Tommy, just quickly, as a Man United fan, can you imagine?
Well, I remember.
Can you even begin to imagine what he would have been like? And this is him peak, almost, peaks probably a season or two away, but still incredible.
Well, do you remember when you went on holiday and the papers would they come late?
Yeah, a day later.
Or a day later.
Yeah.
And I remember me and my dad, we were in Spain, and every morning, it was very sort of like Brits abroad Spain, like near Benidorm. And I remember every morning, of course the goose man was looking up there, yeah. Anyway, every morning,
a goose.
Lucy goosey.
Yeah.
Every morning, my dad and I would walk down. He'd get a coffee or whatever, and we'd get croissants, and we'd buy. Just all the newspapers because
I used to love doing that on holiday.
We bought, and it was like following an adventure. Every day you'd read the paper to see what the latest was on Ronaldinho, and some days we'd be in jubilation, me, him, my brother, because we'd be like, he's signing, it's gonna happen. And then the next day it looked like it wasn't happening. And I don't think I've ever so keenly, I was 13 years old, and really, really getting in. It was when I was buying shirts from like Barcelona shirts. Yeah,
I can see it now.
I can see it now. You walking.
I was obsessed with the idea of United signing my favourite player in the world because I fell in love with
the most fun player. Yeah.
And I mean, it worked out right because we wouldn't have got Cristiano Ronaldo if.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That was the kind of alternate signing that we made because. We played Sporting Lisbon in a friendly, and all the players said we have to sign him. He's ridiculous about Ronaldo. However,
who was also on the verge of going to Arsenal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, can you imagine having both of them?
Yeah,
probably wouldn't work.
No, it probably wouldn't. But the joy and fun of it all, just imagining him. Of course, he would have been. Of course, he would have found. Like any player that comes to England, the pace of it, but he was so good, he would have just got used to it.
And Fergie he would have
so quick with his feet, and it would have been all right.
The partying and all that, you just know Fergie would have treated him like Cantona. He'd be like, he's special, he's different, he can do stuff that you lot aren't allowed to do.
Imagine him on Deansgate, man.
Fucking hell. Imagine him at fucking Tiger. Or Printworks.
But I mean, James,
what's interesting, just quickly. Is that... Look, we made an amazing episode, an amazing audio documentary about Ronaldinho going to Barcelona.
It's one of the best ones, isn't it?
I think it's top three for me.
Listen to it somewhere in Belgium or Netherlands.
And Graham,
very recently.
Graham Hunter talks brilliantly about the United potential transfer, and then also about Joan Laporta being elected and signing Ronaldinho and... General Laporta, the president, and then Graham Hunter says he talks about when Ronaldinho was unveiled at Camp Nou, and he says, and you could tell that John Laporta was there, and he was saying, it's like a rock star unveiling, and you could hear, and he was going, "This is all yours."
Yeah, and it was, wasn't it?
When he said that, when I was interviewing Graham, I was just like, "Oh, you're fucking good, Graham."
Yeah, he's brilliant.
You nailed his tone of voice.
You did actually.
That's quite good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's quite good.
I mean, for anyone that's actually interested, whenever I get in touch with Graham Hunter, he sends me a voice note back. Yeah. Whether I've sent him an email or a text, whatever, it's always a voice note back. And he calls me something different every time. All right, Jimbo.
Yeah.
James.
He's a wonderful, wonderful man.
James, listen, I'm really busy at the moment, but
always finds time, doesn't he? He's always found time.
I'll send you a 7-minute voice note.
Yeah. It will, and it'll be brilliant. And
he's behind one of my favourite ever football documentaries. I can't remember the name. The Barcelona one.
The Barcelona one, following behind the scenes of Laporta.
Take the ball, pass the ball. Is it that one?
Well, that's Graham Hunter. That's based on Graham Hunter's book.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh no, there's another documentary that was being filmed around Laporta when he was becoming president.
I've seen that.
And it's actually him signing Ronaldinho.
Yes, yeah.
It was on.
That's Graham Hunter as well.
No, that isn't Graham Hunter. That's a different one. But Graham Hunter, but
just on Graham Hunter, very quickly. If anyone ever wants to listen to two premium football men just fucking shooting the breeze, listen to his both part 1 and 2 of his interview with Steve McManaman.
Yeah. Oh, is it as good as the Souness one? Because that's pretty fucking.
Or
good.
Benny McCarthy.
All of them. We've mentioned it before. We'll say it again. The big interview podcast with Graham Hunter, superb. But we're mentioning Giant there. The episode is called The Baptism of Ronaldinho. There's no point telling you what happened. You probably know what happened. He went to Barcelona and fucking did brilliantly. But that episode is one of our favourite episodes of Giant. So go and listen to that. That's what happened after PSG. But we're talking about adventures in Clubland. 2 years in Paris. He's enjoyed himself on and off the pitch. He's made himself probably only Ronaldo. The OG is probably above him in the pecking order of best players in the world, and he might even be catching him. He might be almost overtaking him.
Yeah, him and Zizou around that time.
Oh, of course. Sorry. Yeah. Oh God, fucking hell, what players, man. But brilliant. Yeah, honestly, there's a we'll put it in the link, and I know we say this all the time, but there's a video of his 10 best goals.
Oh,
just watch it.
I enjoyed that on the train this morning, my friend.
It's just beautiful, isn't it? You know, most comps and stuff like that always have some shit ones in. This one's incredible, isn't it?
It's all killer, no filler.
It's all killer. And he looks like he's having so much fun. And I know it's cliche, but it's true. He was joyful and happy footballer.
And also, I think you've got the magazine. I don't think you're gonna read it, but I can't remember if I've definitely told James this, and I don't think I've said it on the podcast. But when I was very much with the drink and having sort of withdrawals and panic attacks a lot. I was actually in Barcelona after a very heavy seshy week at Primavera Festival, and I hadn't bought any books, but I had bought Mundial magazine with me. And James's Ronaldinho piece.
You weren't as daft as you thought then.
Actually, reading that kind of got me through a really bad panic attack. That whole Ronaldinho thing. So I read it in Barcelona, and then I finished reading it at the airport, and as the plane was taking off. And I was telling James about that once, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I wrote that." I was like, "Oh yeah, oh cool, cheers."
Yeah,
that's really kind.
That is 2017 that came out, but yeah, we'll put all the links. We'll put that back up on the website.
I sort of hate it.
Yeah, I know. That's why
I've not read it since that day. But
I wrote it last minute in the pub.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But it's really good.
Under a lot of pressure from me going. Yeah, I've written 5,000 words and I hadn't started.
Yeah. Oh God!
I remember just going to the pub, the Windsor Castle, which is now closed down in Lower Clapton, and just phoning Matilda and being like, "I'm going to be in here all night, Matilda." Yeah. Pints,
bloody Hemingway over
here. I tell you what,
right drunk, edit sober.
Yeah.
That's really kind though, Tommy.
Yeah,
I'm glad that it helped you.
It helped. Yeah,
genuinely did.
That's lovely, isn't it?
It's when
the power of the pen.
And I said to myself that day, one day I'll work with these cunts.
And you bloody are. And here you are. Here you bloody are. Nice one. I enjoyed that one.
All right. I'm Charlie Cooper. You might recognise me from BBC show This Country, but I'm here to tell you how much I love Mundial magazine. For me, it's a fanzine of football, documenting the best of football culture forever. I'm very proud to admit I've been a long-term subscriber of Mundial for years now. But if you subscribe, you don't just get the magazine, right? You get loads of other perks, too many to mention, in fact. So join Club Mundial at mundialmag.com.
Ins and outs and ins, all based around the seminal fanzine, The End, who used to just do this back in the day, and loads of people do it now, including us. I'm going to go straight into my football ins. I'm not going to don't need to say too much more than the new Wimbledon kits by our mate Mark Jones. He has somehow made them even better than the great ones last year, which I think we said on this podcast were the best range of football kits last season. I think he's done it again, so go and check them out. Tommy, you're in?
Just the away kit, especially.
The away kit is...
I've not seen them yet.
Oh, the away kit is incredible.
It's sumptuous.
Are they out there on
They're out there on the interweb.
I'll
on the information superhighway. Get yourself on there.
Well, annoyingly, today, oh God, when I was supposed to be doing this episode, I was going to call you Worldwide Seb.
Oh, that's very
because
good,
it's
that could be a good.
It's a certain, and James was going to be Microsoft Bird.
That is pretty good. Microsoft Bird's fucking great.
Because this day, on this week in 91 or 92, the first ever image was uploaded to the internet. But I'm glad I got it in anyway.
That's great.
My football in is Vicky Sparks, the 5 Live commentator.
Yeah.
I think she is the best. I actually think she is the best.
She's great,
like,
isn't she?
I was listening to a game at the Euros where I can't remember the game actually, but it was where the rain stopped play for a bit.
It's Denmark.
Yeah.
Denmark,
Germany, Denmark.
Yes. And her and Chris Sutton just like, and I've worked in radio, live radio, and it's fucking stress, those situations where you have no script, you have no cues, and they're just having to fill time and not leave a second of silence. And fuck me, man, the way they described it, as an audio producer and someone who's worked in this for like 10 years, I was like, this is the best. She is the fucking best.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
And then handing over to Chappers, who is also one of the best.
I mean, me and Seb were talking about Chappers yesterday.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But Vicky
He's brilliant. John Murray,
Vicky Sparks.
superb.
Vicky Sparks doesn't get, as the kids would say, doesn't get her flowers enough. And I really want to shout her out because
That's a great shout. Tommy.
And also never heard a bad word about her in the industry and people who work with her. Great person, great football commentator.
In. Vicky Sparks, definitely in. James Bird. Long throws.
Long throws.
Well, this is obviously not in.
Launch him in.
It's not in.
What? Oh, sorry, in. Sorry.
Oh,
so, I've got.
It's okay.
I've got confused.
He's just mixed up the meanings.
He's just mixed up the meanings. Long throws. We're definitely in. Yeah, definitely in. One of the best moments in English football history.
Just get him in there. Generally.
Yeah.
What interests me is that because even I can't remember. Maybe City did it at the end of a game where they needed a goal recently, or maybe it was Arsenal. I can't remember who. If you do it when you're that desperate for a goal, why don't you do it from the first minute?
Yeah, true.
You're right.
That is a very good point, James. I hadn't thought of it.
We're all desperate for goals.
Always desperate for goals.
Just very quickly, I remember going to United when I was very young.
Yeah.
And it was up in the gods in the North Stands, and
it's really high, isn't it? The third tier,
very vertical. And me and my brother, we still reference this to this day because Gary Neville and Phil Neville, both the Neville brothers, each half, one right back, one left back, is on the long throws.
Ridiculous.
Obviously. Yeah, because they've obviously thought we're not that good at football, so we really need to practice something that other people can't do. That's how I see it anyway. And I just remember this guy, he obviously knew that they were cricketers as well. He was like, go on, Gary, or go on, Phil. Throw it long, knock his stumps out.
That's fucking great.
And Gary and Phil knock their stumps out with your long throws.
Especially even more so that if he was on the third tier of the North Stand, there is literally no chance of him hearing that. Literally no chance.
He's about 300 foot away.
Yeah.
Do you know what? A couple of these things that we're talking about now is really making me miss being at a football match. Like being at a domestic football match. A league
pre-season
game.
It's happening now, James.
Like, just someone random shouting something. Seb, you talking about the keeper like hitting the post trying to save Ronaldinho free kick. It's just those noises, those moments.
We're not far away. The season is not very far. And you may be listening to this when the season is on because it's a timeless podcast. Anyway, out. We're going to move for this very quickly. A little bit on what you said. My out is the sound quality of Radio 5 online on digital. And I'm putting that out because it's too good, it's too polished. Because I remember as a kid, we were having to change between 693 and 909. And just finding that sweet spot was one of the most joyous things in life. But obviously it's great. It sounds great, but yeah, the sound quality is just too good. It's too. So
he's got his meanings mixed up again.
I've got my meanings mixed up. No, I haven't. I want to put that out, but it's also in it.
I get you though.
You know what I mean?
I get you. We were listening on digital radio.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
On the way back from.
It's too
Germany,
clear. It's too clear and crisp.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But anyway, again, just talking about our love of listening to the football on the radio, which we could do a whole podcast on that. To be fair, Tommy Stewart.
Oh, just nerdy sort of invented terminology that everyone's using now. Like when you hear the sort of, look, I get the haunted lads and that doing it, and I get that it makes sense and a lot of it.
And it appeals to a certain amount of people.
It does, but when I hear at the game people who I've never heard say things like beating the press and lower block.
We've got to get rid of
You actually said lower block before. I haven't got problems with it, but suddenly everyone is using these things, and I don't think half of us know what they actually mean.
100%.
I sort of, there's a part of me that really disagrees.
Yeah, there's a part of me that really disagrees. My brother and my mate.
I will gladly watch any football match of any standard in the world at any moment and gladly just talk about it for hours afterwards. And if there is new ways to talk about, don't get me wrong, I think some of the sort of Twitter stuff is batshit
expected scans,
crazy,
areas
mental,
of scans and all this sort
mental, completely insane.
Yeah,
but I don't so I do sort of agree as well.
No, I know what you mean.
I do, talking about beating the press. We'll go down on Thursday.
I think that's slightly lower down. I think you're talking about.
I use bad examples, but I
know what you mean.
Yeah, the scanning thing is
thing out. Yeah, out. James, what's yours?
Muted celebrations. Go do that.
I agree.
You've scored a goal.
Out. 100%. The best thing in football.
Lose your head.
Lose your head.
Go.
Although Henry and what about Cantona against Sunderland? There are some good.
But then he would lose his head the other time.
They're moments.
They're moments.
They're moments.
Okay. They're moments of class that even surprise them.
They're moments. They are.
Okay.
I'm just talking about someone going like just clenching their fist and running back to their half. It's just like God, there's 30,000 people watching you here.
It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. That is very quickly. Does VAR make that more difficult though?
This is an interesting point, Seb.
But not for us and not for this podcast.
Maybe we could do a bonus episode on VAR.
Yeah. Non-football ins and outs. We're going to finish off and we're going to race through this because Tommy has to get his train up to Manchester. My in is getting back on the bike. I went on the bike the other day for a ride to meet a couple of mates the other side of the river.
Brompton, was it?
Definitely not a Brompton. Full-on fucking big BMX type thing with big wide handlebars. Mountain bike type thing. Brilliant.
A chopper?
Brilliant. Not a chopper.
I'd love to see you on a chopper.
Not a chopper. Not a chopper. But get back on the bike. If you're feeling a bit low, feeling a bit...
The big wing mirror.
Yeah. If you're feeling a bit angsty or whatever, just get on the bike. Honestly, cycling
just when you're cycling away from the upside down.
You don't have to get the Lycra on and all these expensive bikes. Just get out there. Also Lime bikes, for example. James, go on.
Taking it easy.
I don't...
Everyone just...
Yeah.
It's calm. It's not life or death, what you were
Well, he's saying this while we're rushing to finish this off, so yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. You get what time do you train? What time do you train, Tommy?
2:53.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Take it easy, bro.
He won't be too sweaty, doesn't he?
I'll
We'll
run there in my Gucci loafers.
Yeah.
Why?
Whoa.
Why?
Film it. Can you film it?
By the way, I'm not rich. They are from eBay.
Yeah.
Film it. Fucking hell. Whilst I'm in a rush. Imagine
that's what your non-football in should be.
Yeah.
Lily Allen's feet OnlyFans account.
Yeah. That is an interesting development. I will say that
because that's £15 against your monthly income straight away. They might as well take out your payslip.
Pension, feet, Lily Allen's feet OnlyFans. That is terrible. Great picture of Lily Allen the other day wearing a Popular Front T-shirt though. So big fan of that. Tommy, yours. This is very niche, but go on.
Car cigarettes. The reason I love car cigarettes so much is because number one, it feels cool whilst you're driving and smoking, but also
arguably true.
Yeah. Also though, what I love about them is. Living in flats for most of my adult life where you have to sort of go down lifts and things like that to have a cigarette. A car cigarette, no matter the weather, whether it's raining or whatever, you're always sheltered, but you're not smoking in your house. You know, it's just the perfect time to have a smoke.
So okay, it's in if you're in the car on your own or with fellow smokers.
On your own, yes.
It's absolutely out, obviously.
I'd only do it driving my own car.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I just,
on my own.
I'm not sitting there saying that you're going around, but
God, no.
Do you know what is funny though?
Go on.
When you get an Uber and they turn up and the bloke's clearly just finished a fan. It just stinks.
I just want to say, carry on, King. I'll join you. I'll join you.
True. I'll put it in because if you're doing it on your own,
Of course.
all of those things are in there. And the non-football outs, I'm going to say my inability to wear a white T-shirt. Because no matter how hard I try, I will always get something on there that will ruin it. A stain of some description. Must be getting old. So yeah, that is definitely out.
Could be anything.
James Bird, what are you? It might even be this.
Yeah. Oh, pie mash.
Yeah.
The fucking old school pie mash.
Crap.
My dad came down. Came down earlier in the week, and was like, "Oh, Jamie, can we go to one of the pie mash and eels places?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, we can, Dad." And I showed him this video that was on Munchies, the documentary of the F. Cook and Sons. Yeah. And it's a really funny video. In the video, the opening line is him, F. Cook, the guy who owns the pie mash shop, going, "Oh, they get a bad reputation, don't they? I hear people calling them snakes, but they're not." Which was amazing, but the experience is quite fun.
No,
you
nice.
feel like you're going back in time, but
it's nice to keep things going.
The actual
good things, keep the good things going.
I don't know.
It doesn't taste good.
I don't think it
doesn't taste good. It's not a good.
It's not a good pie. I don't think it's good mash, and I don't think the gravy's any.
It's too salty. It's not a good.
Put it out then.
I'm putting it out. Pie and mash.
It isn't.
Sorry,
it isn't a good pie.
No, I don't.
On the
pie spectrum.
When he
quick, it's out. Right, Tommy. Last thing, one thing only. What? Go on.
My out's a stag do's. You've
just been on one of the best stag do's there's ever been.
Yeah, but
driven all the way to the fucking
the organised fun at our age. Like, let's just chill a bit
more.
Get rid.
Yeah,
get rid.
I'm going to
a Stendu later this year.
My dear friend.
Stendu.
Oh, it's a fly.
Oh, James, that would be good in 4K. Right. A stag do. It's a stag and hen do together.
Stag and hen do.
Unbelievable.
Sorry,
that's out.
Okay.
There was just a dead fly in my hand.
A dead fly in his hand. Anyway, that has been reminding you I love football. Tommy has to go. He has to go and get this bloody train. He has to run to Euston and get those steps. Get those steps in.
Oh no, you can't wear that. You'll have to change your.
Yeah, come on. He's going.
No, you'll have to change that. They don't go well together.
Tommy, thank you very much. Wave to the camera, Tommy. Wave to the camera. Thank you very much, Tommy. That has been reminding you I love football.
Seb, should me and you just do 25 minutes riffing off the cuff?
Yeah, we could just do something. No, we can't because my daughter's sat next door going, hurry up, Dad.
Get Ava in, special guest.
Yeah, I did say to her, does she want to come in? But, right. Thank you. Thanks very much. Buy the magazine, leave a review, answer the polls and questions on Spotify. That always helps. And tell your mates. Reminding you I love football. The end.
Reminding You Why You Love Football is a Mundial and Football co-production. Produced by Tommy Stewart and Seb White, hosted by me, Owen Blackhurst, and recorded on the run.